Hey guys, Kid Creep here, and today we're going to do a little Q&A. Now, I'm packing up for this really cool event that I'm going to be doing this weekend. It's going to be a 24-hour event. It's going to be in Vermont. It's not going to be as cold as I hoped it would be. I know that sounds really weird, but I was really hoping to really push my cold weather stuff through its paces, you know, namely the PCU system, as well as myself. But doesn't look like there's going to be any snow. Doesn't seem like it's going to be that cold. It's going to be like a high of 40. I really shouldn't complain, but I'm not really doing this as an ego thing. It's more for, you know, understanding the equipment better and testing this stuff out so I can give you guys better feedback. I plan on doing a lengthy video after unpacking my Ruck, showing you everything that I used, what worked, what didn't work. And I felt like packing was kind of, there's really no point in filming the packing, but I thought it'd be cool to do like a little get ready with me, cute little get ready with me before this thing, and then also answer some of your guys' questions. So on Monday, I asked on YouTube and on Instagram, you know, you guys can ask away. We hit 10,000 subs. We hit 1 million views on my very first video. And to that I said, ask me whatever you want. I also thought it'd be really funny for you guys to see how bird-brained I am when packing. All right, so here I've got like all of my outer layers and stuff, and I've got the rest of my gear just, you know, sprawled across the floor. I have a lengthy and tedious gear list that they sent out. So I'm gonna have to be referencing that a lot. We actually got a few in here. I haven't checked in. I think I'll go in chronological order, right? Pokey C, or Poke C period, asks, how are you? I'm all right. Probably going to be doing a lot better once this thing's over, and to be honest with you. It's also forced me to use Facebook, and I don't understand how Facebook works. I'm not good at it. I don't use it a lot. So that also just kind of like makes I can feel a tumor grow in my head. Hi-ya! Teabag my pack. Someone just said nice with a heart. Thank you. I appreciate that. Got a top 10 military surplus items. Also, how would you rack different nations' equipment that you have experience of? All right, that's a pretty cool question. I probably have my top 10 sitting around in here. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so military surplus, top 10. This is gonna be in no particular order. This would have to be its very own video. I'm not gonna lie to you. Damn. Oh, it's fucking tough, dude. All right, one of my top ones is going to be this Gregory Spear Pack. The more I use it, the more I like it. People really like to hate on it, but I have a video coming up on it that I'm gonna be doing, especially after this race, especially after this thing that I'm doing this weekend, where I'm gonna be using it and have some real experience with it doing something really tough. This is gonna be a really hard military style event. No, it's not a milsim, unfortunately. This is an Arctic bag. This is for like Arctic expeditions and climbing and stuff like that. This is a serious cold weather bag, and I love it for that. It does everything I need it to do in the cold. So if you try using it like in the desert, like they were doing with Green Berets and, you know, cool guys back in the early GWAT, there's a cool photo of this thing strapped to the side of a donkey, and nobody wanted to use it. USGI wet weather poncho. These things are fucking awesome. If you don't have one, you are missing out. Honestly, these new issue Marine Corps Sea Line bags. Let me see if I got I've actually got two. These seal line bags, these things are awesome because you can actually compress the air out of them and then they stay, right? They don't have an on-off valve. They're just like that, and you can just sandwich stuff and just like vacuum seal it. These are awesome. The PC Level 5, of course, super sick, love it. These mittens, these are the Outdoor Research Firebrand mittens. These are gonna save my hands when I'm out there. So that's definitely up on the list. What am I at, like 3 or 4? PVS 14, awesome piece of military surplus. Everyone should have one, or not, I don't know. The MSS modular sleep system, the four-piece, it's really a bivy bag and then 2 sleeping bags. The modular sleep system is awesome. It can get you down into some pretty ridiculous temperatures. Honestly, it's way better than the new Marine Corps thing. The new Marine Corps bivy, much better. The sleeping bag system, not so much. But everyone should have an MSS. Everyone should carry them in their car. God forbid you slide off the road, stuck in a ditch, in the snow, in a blizzard, waiting for help that will never arrive, and you freeze to death in your car because you ran out of gas and you die like 6 miles from home. That happened in my home state. Not good. Everyone should have an MSS. Everyone's family member should have an MSS. These are really important. Survival is very important to me, if you couldn't tell. All right, I'm pretty limited on time, so I don't know if I can do 10. I forget what number I'm at. This is the Eagle Industries duffel bag. These things are super cool. This is how I transport all my stuff all the time. Super awesome. Very low vis, you know, it doesn't look too scary. And I'm just gonna finish with this. This is the US Military's Alice belt system. This is a belt kit. I'll do a in-depth video on this later, but these things are super awesome. Huge fan of these. Honestly, like this and, you know, a plate carrier, right? Like just something to carry your plates. These things will solve most of your problems. Big fan of these. So that's it. Sorry, I wish I had more time to focus on that question. But in terms of other military's gear, really like what the British are using right now. All of the British systems are really interesting me. Arctis has really impressed me with the quality of their gear and just how like thoughtful their gear has been. Namely like layering systems and their clothing. It's what they've been putting out is very thoughtful, right? Let's answer some more questions. How do I break stone with stone? I have no idea what that means. You have stumped me. It's good. Level 5 video question mark. This is coming from Unknown Spartan, by the way. I'll try and put like screenshots. I don't know. I haven't done this before. Level 5 video question mark. People hype up the PC Level 5, and rightfully so from my experience, but I want to hear in detail what makes it good. Someone replied, they said, I have that garment trousers, you're good, I'm not sure. I want to use a top to warm most of the time, to use a level 5. That is correct. The level 5 is something that you should really be using when it is much colder. I mean, I typically throw on the level 5s when there's snow on the ground because that makes more sense. But, you know, I kind of got my start on YouTube because of this stuff, so now I'm kind of doomed to wear it forever. But don't worry, the spring, that will change a little. We'll transition into our summertime kit creep, right? That's going to be fun. But yes, I will be doing a level 5 video. I'm saving the best for last. I have a lot of really great footage, a lot of really great opinions, a lot of great things to say about the level 5, a lot of really good personal user experience input, as well as some really good alternatives, some good cheap alternatives for people. So yeah, okay, so well, let's do one more. Plans on making videos on thermals and your employment of them. Oh, oh brother, have I got a video for you. Oh man. Yeah, no, actually coming out later, coming out this, late spring, early summer, I've got a kind of pretty cool video on thermals coming out. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be really cool. I'm really excited about that video. I had so much fun filming it with my friends, and I want it to be like really, really good. I didn't want to rush it and just push it out for no reason. I wanted to take my time, make sure that it's really good, and everyone should be very excited for that video. Video game nerds, especially. All right, cool. Pastel Blau 3719 says, your videos are really great. Keep it up! Exclamation point. What style of climbing do you do, and how many pull-ups can you do? I can't remember. I don't remember how many pull-ups I can do. I kind of just do them until failure. The other reason I don't count is because I can't do that many. So I'm not going to tell you. I want to say, like, on average, 20. I can give you like 20 good pull-ups, and then I'm going to start slacking real bad. Oh, fuck. And then the second part of the question was, or I guess the first part was, what style of climbing do you do? I recently got into bouldering because you need to, from what I understand, you need to start with the very basics. And going to an indoor bouldering gym is, very low commitment. It's very fun. It's honestly, feels very freeing, to be honest, because, I liked lifting when I lived closer to the people that I lift with. And I would lift a lot because, I like to lift with people. I like to be with people. I like to be with my boys, lift with them. But lifting by myself, now that I live a little bit further away, lifting by myself is pretty boring. It's hard for me to motivate myself to go do it, especially without like a spot, right? If you don't have a spotter, like you can't really do too heavy. And I also just, lifting is really good for isolating specific muscles. And I feel like it is like a supplemental thing to an end goal or to an actual activity. And, that activity for me being climbing, I've found climbing to be, really great for using my full body and work on things I never worked on before. And then also test out my strength, right? And of course that is just the tip of the iceberg. And then you get a harness, which I have a harness, and then you get into belaying, and then you get into outdoor climbing, and then you get into trad climbing, and you start top roping, and then you get into lead climbing, and then this winter I'm actually going to, later this month, I'm actually going to go ice climbing, and that's going to be really fun because I love the cold, and I've fallen in love with climbing, so combining those two things together is going to be really sick. Oh no. Okay. What are the best, more budget-friendly brand alternatives to the gear you show in your videos? Your gear looks excellent, but for sure out of my budget. Just looking for mid-range, high durability gear that I can find new and not surplus really. Well, honestly, one of the stores that has like surprised me recently has been Sierra. Sierra is that store that's owned by like Marshalls and TJ Maxx and Home Goods or whatever. But they have a lot of pretty good budget-friendly options in there. I mean, like in terms of like base layers and some shells and some like, some shell pant kind of stuff, fleeces, especially puffy jackets. They got a lot of really good stuff. So if you watch my videos and you understand what each layer is, and you understand what each layer is, what makes it do the things that it does, you can go into a store like Sierra, pick something up and say, oh, hey, that's a level 5 right there. Or pick something else up and be like, that's that's a puffy mid layer, or that's a puffy outer layer. That's a belay jacket. That's a big thing. I'm coming out with a base layer video later, but after that, hopefully you'll be able to look at something and say, oh, that's a sun shirt. I don't want that. And then, oh, this is a base layer. I do want that. That's good. I understand that a lot of my budget surplus options are still out of a lot of people's price ranges. They're still pretty premium for surplus. The stuff that I have here is for more serious use. It's not just for like sleeping a couple nights in the woods, but this is all pretty serious stuff for like mountaineering and ice climbing and, stuff like that, right? Stuff where you need to ask a lot of your systems, as opposed to something like, having some Alice kit for bushcrafting. The stuff that I have is like alternatives to really premium stuff. Like this is premium surplus. That's an alternative to premium commercial stuff, right? So instead of like an Arc'teryx Tango or friggin', I forget the name of it. Instead of like, some crazy like big Arc'teryx name brand thing like this, instead of paying like $1,000 for a backpack, you're paying like, this was like $150 for me. A shell jacket like this, I mean, these things can run for like $300 to $700 for a soft shell jacket, especially Gore-Tex jackets. I mean, like Gorpcore and all that stuff has really done a number on the commercial, outdoor gear market. But, it's good to see that people are getting into this stuff, because that's step one, right? As long as if you think the stuff is cool and you like the stuff, if you are of sound mind, you're going to try to justify having that stuff. So that might get people to do more outdoor activities. And I know people are like, oh, stay away from the outdoors. The more people that enjoy the outdoors and are outdoors, the more people who are on your side, right? So the more people who are going to be environmentally conscious and understand what to do and what not to do when it comes to the environment and the backcountry. What's your go-to water filtration / purification system? I actually have it. All right, so quick rundown of my go-to water filtration system. It's not the fanciest thing in the world, but I've got this like little, I don't know, like dental care kind of thing, just filled with micro pure Catadine tablets. These things are awesome. It's just that they take about 4 hours to work, which is kind of but I have a lot of them. Iodine's really good. It cleans very well. I also, what is this? I forget who makes this, which is a bad idea. Oh, this is an Aqua Mira viral filter. So most filters, kind of like the Sawyer filters, which I have in here, they don't filter out viruses, right? So they'll filter out like most things, but if you just walk up to a stream and you just start sucking out of that like pond or whatever the hell it is, it's not going to filter out viruses. And if you live anywhere near human civilization, so if you go to like a water feature in your town, or on a popular trail where people might be shitting off trail, anywhere like that where there could be viruses in the water, anywhere that there's like, human viruses that could transmit through shit, this is what you want. The only thing is that this is good for 50 gallons, whereas these Sawyers, right, and I got this thing just kind of like rigged up for like, you know, future use. These Sawyer filters, they're good for like 100,000 gallons, right? And it comes with a gravity bag. They're very, very cheap. The only thing is that you are going to need to use some sort of purification method, whether it be tablets or boiling it, right, to kill viruses and anything else possibly in there. Here I've just got like the back, you know, the backwash thing. More Catadine Micro Pure tablets, iodine tablets. Oh, and this is cool. I learned this from, I think, Carl on YouTube. Tactical Rifleman. That guy's really cool. He takes 2 of these, like, this is a 2-part purification system, and they work pretty quickly, which is cool. And you use one of these first, and you use the other one second. And they're 2 separate bottles, but he took a bunch of duct tape and put it around the 2 of them, connected them together so that they're one, and you don't lose one of them. They always stay together. And then you have a ton of duct tape right there. So if you like don't have duct tape and you need duct tape, do you ever plan to reveal your face, or would you rather stay a faceless YouTuber? Well, honestly, I'm not really too sure right now. I kind of just started out. I've always been pretty apprehensive about the internet in general and, you know, posting stuff on it. And so I think the mask kind of just gives me a false sense of security at the moment. Just makes me feel like I can just kind of like, oh, you know, like do my thing, like fuck around. I don't really have to worry too much about, you know, what my job might think, what family and friends might think. Because, yeah, it's like the internet's a weird thing. You're really putting yourself out there. Definitely practice OPSEC. Be careful. You know, don't say anything or do anything stupid. Just makes me feel a little bit more, like, secure. I think anyone can understand that. Like, you know, I understand that a mask doesn't 100%, you know, protect me from, you know, protect my privacy. You know, people can easily find ways of finding out who you are and where you live and stuff like that. But, you know, like admin results, you know, administrative results, if you know him on YouTube, his job, he felt, would not be super thrilled about the content that he was putting on the internet. So, you know, naturally he hit his face. And I'm kind of in the same boat there too. I don't think I would get fired over it, but, you know, it certainly is just, I'm a very private guy. You know, like I'm a very private guy. I like my privacy as best as I can, you know, like, well, if you like your privacy, then, you know, why are you, you know, broadcasting yourself on the internet? It's fun, honestly. Like, there's some pretty cool people on the internet. You shouldn't let bad actors prevent you from doing the things that you love, because that's like the textbook definition of terrorism. And we fought terrorism for about 20 fucking years just for everyone to be afraid to leave their house. If you guys want me to show my face, by all means, hit that like button, subscribe, you know, get me help me make YouTube my full-time job. I mean, that's up to you guys, really. You want me to show my face, you gotta put that work in. I'm just kidding. Honestly, it's really up to me. Honestly, the biggest hurdle for me right now is like having an editor. Like, I don't have an editor. I have to just edit myself one video at a time, and I am not good with technology. I can tell you that right now. I'm big monkey. So yeah, if you guys can help me make enough money off YouTube to hire an editor, I would gladly fork up the money for someone else to edit my content for me, so I can just focus on content and not having to cut things, because I'm not even good at it. I mean, like, you see how long my videos are, and like I just try to cut out all the ums and uhs, and they're still like 30 something minutes long. So yeah, I mean, I don't like wearing this thing all the damn time. I promise you that. You know, I'm not like, oh man, I really like wearing this mask because it makes me look so cool. It's actually really annoying. Yeah. Oh, and then the second part of the question was, there's a second part. Where can I get a face mask? Where can I get a face mask like yours? Do you have recommendations for breathable ones? This is the Arc'teryx Leaf, which stands for law enforcement and armed forces line. It's their military contract line of stuff. This is like it's a mesh, long, fire retardant balaclava, and the reason I like it is because it's the most breathable one that I have. But it also doesn't get tight around my lips, and then you can like see my lips moving under the mask, because that's a little unsettling. I don't like it. I think it looks weird. And but it's, you know, I would much rather not have to wear this all the time. Thoughts on integrating wool base layers / other gear into your layering systems. Also would love to hear your opinions on European and other contemporary milsurp. Yeah, absolutely. I would love to, you know, test more like, you know, older gen military surplus from like the US military. I mean, I would love to reach out and, you know, maybe head across the pond and hang out with some cool dudes and, you know, ask them about their kit, because I'm not an expert or a professional on European stuff. If I had opportunities to play with them and talk to people who have really, really good experience with those, that would be super sick. Would love to fly out and see someone, you know, talk to some people like that. So yeah, European surplus, pretty cool, but I'm very familiar with US surplus. And in terms of wool base layers, that's a very European comment. Yeah, I love wool. I think wool is super cool. I'm going to be talking about wool in a base layer video that I'm going to do soon. Wool is a fantastic material. I'm wearing wool socks right now. However, much like with down, you have to balance durability, right? If you're doing some pretty crazy, gnarly stuff, and you know, you don't want to like, that's going to easily destroy your $100, $100, $150, $200 wool base layers. You know, like, I like synthetics because they're so cheap. I can just beat the snot out of them and they don't hurt me to replace. Very easy to replace, very cheap. And also they dry faster. You know, like, the reason that wool dries quickly is because it doesn't hold on to as much water, right? Like cotton holds on to 100% of its weight in water. Wool does not hold on to very much water at all, right? So it seems like it dries faster, but it doesn't really dry faster than synthetic stuff. Synthetic stuff will dry the fastest. Wool is just a great material, and it does well when wet. But personally, I'm a little too hard on my stuff. I've put holes in my wool base layers in like less than a season. So, but wool's great. It's also fire retardant. So for you guys that have to worry about IEDs and such. What are your thoughts on the reemergence of LBE? Well, I just showed you guys my Alice belt kit. So of course I love Alice kit. I think that belt kits are necessary, right? It's not something that got phased out and it's like the old way of doing things and we shouldn't do that anymore. No, belt kit is like, it should be like a tool in your toolbox, right? So like, have a chest rig, have a plate carrier, have a belt kit, right? Because there's some science behind it. Having things higher up on your chest, like a chest rig or a plate carrier, that is better for flat urban terrain. So in terms of like, you know, operating, like having a full kitted out plate carrier, when you're a SWAT guy or a SEAL guy, you know, a fast mover, and you're mainly working inside of buildings, it's better to have that weight higher up. But in terms of being out in the field, right, like being out in the woods, uneven terrain, I live in a very mountainous environment, lots of uneven terrain. Putting that weight down lower by your hips is more advantageous, right? It's easier to maneuver in that kind of terrain, having it a lot lower, move your center of gravity a little bit lower so that you're not just like, you know, this big, you know, like those inflatable, wacky, wavy, inflatable arm flailing tube men kind of thing. Yeah, LBE, we should bring that back, right? Plate carriers and combat shirts, those are trends. Things will trend in a certain direction. But Spirit of Systems, they took a look at world events and they were like, yeah, we should probably make a belt kit and update this concept, because I guarantee you the military would have probably either tried to find a way to make the new TAP system a belt kit, the A-TAPs or whatever, or bring back like the old war belts and stuff like that, you know, in a future conflict. I guarantee that would have happened. So I'm glad that Spirit of Systems got ahead of the game and is hopefully going to help push and drive the market in that direction to compete. So I think that they're really smart for doing that. So yeah, I like LBE. This one comes from section 3.1. Congratulations. And then favorite MRE question mark. Well, I just packed it in here, so I wish I could just pull it out and then like go like, ooh, you know, in front of you. But Southwest Beef and Beans, definitely. And you should know that, section 3.1, because that's all I was eating at Milsom West Baba Slava. So yeah, Southwest Beef and Beans, that's my jam. I'm bringing it with me for this 24-hour event. Hopefully it serves me well. Yeah, so I've got to load all this poop in the car. Actually, my last few things that I want to do. All right, well, thank you all so very much for watching. This has been really stressful, and I probably should not have waited until the last minute. And since I waited to the last minute, you know, recorded. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you all for asking your questions. At first I was like, oh, that's not too many questions. I'm not sure how this is going to go. It was the perfect amount. Honestly, any more than those, and I would be in a bad situation right now. So for those of you who did ask, thank you all so much. And let's get the full picture. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm dealing with. That's what I'm going to wear on my back. Yeah, thank you all so much for asking your questions. They were all very thoughtful and insightful, except for the stone one. I don't understand that one. Help me. But yeah, thank you so much. That was a ton of fun. Very stressful, but I hope you enjoyed. I hope I answered your questions well. But yeah, so help me become a full-time YouTuber so that I can take this thing off. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video, which will hopefully be me unpacking this and telling you what went horribly wrong and what was good. So, yep. Thank you all so much, and wish me luck.